Commissioner.
Thank you. About Wells, and she'll take your questions at 713-440-8870. This is Hello Houston on News 887. Stay with us.
With Hong Kong action star Jackie Chan and actor Alvin-Sugarland Road, welcome back here in Carol. You hear from Brazilian director Gabriel Scotland. There's music. Here's Regina Mali for a Tallahassee Center. Our conversation with Indian could be taken in house. That's all in the old town. We see you.
A strong Houston public media is an essential source for an informed, engaged, and connected community. We appreciate our Affinity Council leadership for fostering an environment that prioritizes respect. Diane Austin, Virginia Clark, Dr. Chris Huff, and
And now back to Hello Houston. To comment on any of today's topics, 713-440-8870 or email us at talk@hellohouston.org. Now back to Ernie Manous, Celestia Sherman, and Billy Slade.
All right, we're back, and you're going to want to get in on this conversation.
Totally.
713-440-8870. Free legal advice. You know, it's never too early to start thinking about your will. So, has the idea that you should write a will actually crossed your mind? You don't even know where to start? Well, we have the person for you. Joining us now is Attorney Commissioner Mickey, the founding member of the law group. Hello, Houston. Commissioner, how are you?
I am fabulous. How are you?
Good, I'm good. So let's get started.
Yes. What's the difference between a will and a statement?
A will, like people think of on more simple terms. I am writing down what I want to happen to my assets when I die.
Okay.
Estate planning, you have a lot of assets, there's some real property, maybe trusts, things like that. So there's a bit more instruction than just the will alone.
So should everyone have a will, or does it have less of an impact for people maybe with a certain monetary amount?
Everybody should have a will.
And what should the will have?
Yeah.
If you don't really have, if you feel like you don't have any money, why do you need a will and what should you
And I
say?
think that's a really big misconception.
Yeah.
So many people think, oh, that's for rich people or other people, not me. But really, why should people have a will? And
Like
like,
a will-
Frank said, what should be?
Because number one, sometimes you have assets you particularly care about. The things that you do have, your personal property. Where's that going to go? Who's going to get that? And also, if you inherit something, now where's that going to go? Because there are various rules according to like, okay, what if we're in an accident together? Like it's me and my parents or me and my siblings. And now based on the intestate rules, if you don't have a will, who's going to get what?
And intestate means you don't have a will.
Don't have a will. You just,
That's right.
never good.
We're speaking with Kamisha Mickey, an attorney and founding member of the Mickey Law Group. You can join the conversations with questions for Kamisha at 713-440-8870. We have a call from Gary from Waller. Gary, welcome to Hello Houston. What was your question for Kamisha?
Well, I have a last will and testament and a power of attorney were set up by my sister-in-law, my last living relative after my wife passed away, but she lives in Florida. And these documents require witnesses and a notary. And I haven't been able to get down to a notary, and I'm wondering, is it mandatory if there are no contestors and no other living inheritors or relatives to contend or forge my signature, basically? Is the notary mandatory for something like that?
Well, thank you. Under normal circumstances, yes, you need a notary. And that's normally because they want to ensure it is you who actually wrote or, had the will made and it is going according to your wishes. However, I would suggest that maybe call a mobile notary. Have someone come to you. That way, kind of take care of the problem. You don't have to go anywhere, and then you fit all the requirements so that there are no unforeseen problems if something were to happen.
Yeah, I've heard, you could just write your will out on a yellow leaf pad.
Or on a napkin.
Yeah,
Our
right.
napkin. Have you heard of that?
You can do that. It's a holographic will.
Yeah, do you have to have it notarized?
You do not. The only issues that kind of come up sometimes when you write your own, if someone wants to contest, now we have to come with your handwriting.
So let me ask this, Miss Listeners, me do I also unwillingly give her bills?
You will have
And
to.
debt.
You will
That's
have to
right.
take care of that. You will have to take care of that.
I don't want any
It depends on what she left with you, sir. That's a liability to be taken care of out of the state.
So everybody's like, oh, I'm in the will. Then they don't know me.
That's right.
So in the state of Texas, do people need, and you kind of touched on this about napkin, but do people need a lawyer or a will to be an actual legal document?
No, you do not have to have a will. You can write your own will. There are various things you can find online and still have them valid and legal. They take the process, having the witnesses and the notary. However, I of course suggest people speak to a lawyer because there are various ways you can distribute your assets that may be better than others.
So what happens if somebody doesn't speak to a lawyer, they don't realize that their assets or the money that they do have, whether it's a lot or a little, what happens when they go decide? Where does that go?
That's all we want you here today.
Yes, people fight. If you don't tell people what to do with your assets, the state of Texas will decide what to do with your assets.
So that's probate.
Probate court, Texas Estates Code, it tells the succession, who should get what, if you have siblings, parents, children, husband, wife, all of those things. So if you don't give instructions, the state of Texas will happily distribute